Hey, if you saw me wearing this last episode, no, you didn't. If you heard me wearing this sweater last episode, show me how to do that, because that sounds really cool.
How to hear your visuals?
Yeah, it's like some seventh sense, because Bruce Willis invented the sixth one.
Look. Yeah. It's just an enhanced version of one of your senses. Or they just combine it to one, so it's just back down to 5 senses.
Yeah, even including the sixth sense.
Yeah.
Do you think Welcome to the Too Bad We Didn't Get Into Cars podcast, everybody. This is episode 35 of the podcast, and we are back in tremendous fashion, pun intended, because the sweater is so good that I wore it 2 episodes in a row. Although we are filming these episodes weeks in between, and I can't tell you how many times you've worn that hoodie on the podcast.
This has been my favorite hoodie for 8 years now.
It's a long time.
When I have to retire this, I'm going to be so sad.
What do you think are the conditions that you'll have to retire it under?
When the zipper stops working.
That's what's going to do it for you? You can't just wear it without the zipper?
I mean, I can, but I don't know. Or if, like, the back ones get too faded. I don't know.
Then it just becomes a blue.
I'm riding it till I die, man.
Riding it till you're dieting it. Anyway. My name is Nick Scarpin Auto.
And I am David Kapusha Cars, and today's episode is brought to you by the color blue.
Yes. The light over my head is blue currently. You managed to catch that. That was very impressive. Vanessa, our co-host, is very blue. Not only is her skin / fur blue, but she's also very sad about the ending of Breaking Bad. She hasn't gotten there yet, but she had it spoiled, and now she doesn't want to finish the show on her own. So there's that for you. And the car that we're using is a David-specific choice. We have a 2015 Volvo V60 wagon. And David, tell them, the good, lovely passengers at home, why did you choose this car?
I like blue, bro.
Blue. I guess
I'm wearing the blue. The waifu's wearing the blue.
The waifu's wearing
the album I'm talking about today is blue. It's just a lot of blues, all right?
A lot of blues. Oh, also, we just saw a movie, Blue Cup. We saw a movie with blue in the title.
We saw Blue Giant, Perfect Blue. Yeah. Bro.
Perfect Blue.
A lot of blues.
A lot of blues. And also, at the time of this recording, of this episode, it's David's birthday at the end of the week on Saturday, October 14th.
In 3 days.
Give it up for David Kapusha Cars, everybody, for being born.
Dude, my golden birthday was half my life ago.
What do you remember what you did for your golden birthday? Did you understand the concept of golden birthdays? Because I didn't until like 2 years ago.
I did, and I thought it was going to be like a super... I don't remember what happened, but I remember it was like actually one of like the worst birthdays.
Oh, buddy.
That's all I remember from it, because it was half my life ago. But
and you repressed the rest because it was awful.
Yeah, a lot of birthdays just kind of... I don't. There's a lot of them, so like I don't remember all of them.
Yeah, that's another way to say, if anyone asks you how old you are, you just say, I don't know. I've had a lot of them. I stopped keeping track.
They're
like, oh, so you're old as shit. That's what you're saying. We're old, man. We're both old. We were both born in October 1995. Don't do the quick math there. No, don't stop. You're going to find out how old we are, and then the surprise is ruined. when you meet us in person at the first ever Cars Pod convention. No, we're not doing a Cars Pod convention. But
Yeah, right, dude.
we are finally back with good video quality and good audio quality. Despite the fact that David's headphones, which cost $400, by the way, schmackaroonies, are... tell them what happened to the headphones.
Dude, $400, man. I expect them to last forever, and they're just, like, falling apart. Like, several years ago, the Bluetooth started to, like, turn on by itself, and it would just drain. And, like, if it's dead, even if I plug it into the motherfucking... Like, I use the cord, they still won't work because the battery's dead. Fucking trash. And they're their only pair. Because I spent $400 fucking dollars on them. I shouldn't have to buy a second pair.
That's $200 left for the right and $200 for the left ear. So, also, sorry, I didn't mean to chew right in your ears if you're listening to this on headphones, which I know David isn't.
Nope.
Too soon. I'm sorry. I have spent the last 6 or 7 hours working at my official actual job, which is teaching voice lessons to children. However, that is going to change soon because I had a meeting with my boss today, and no spoilers, but I may or may not be strictly a performing musician soon and not a teaching musician on top of that. So Monday nights, you know, catch me playing at places soon, or catch me at home playing My Hero Ultra Rumble. I've been doing a lot of that recently. Just like every mobile play. What you talk about? Just like every free-to-play game on the market that I've ever downloaded, you get to a point where you only play the daily missions. You've grinded all of the currency that you can in the beginner missions, and you've gotten you've gotten as far as you can with the story, or if there even is a story. In this case, I've played the game enough to feel good with a couple of characters, so now I really only have time to indulge myself for like an hour a day. We played a game together. We played a couple of matches, and you did not enjoy yourself as much.
I hate fucking Battle Royale. It's trash, man. It's so bad. Like, not only the fact that it's just like oversaturated market, but like I quit multiplayer a couple years ago because everyone is just trash. And it's just such a waste of time. Like, games are a waste of time, but multiplayer games are like way more of a waste of time. At least if it's single player, I can like get the story, and you know it ends after a while. But these multiplayer games, they just go on forever, and like I don't care. I don't care anymore.
They're money makers. You gotta shake them if you have them, and these companies are gonna shake them because that seems to be hot right now, given the fact that Fortnite is in its 102nd year as the number one game on fucking Steam and Xbox Marketplace. And also half the characters available in the My Hero game are also skins in Fortnite anyway. So I don't know what it is about My Hero and Battle Royales, but it's a trend. It's a pattern that I've recognized twice. And if you ever recognize a pattern more than once, even if it's twice, it's too many times.
Fuck them, man. Can they just make a good My Hero game?
I wish.
I mean, just think about it. You take like Hogwarts Legacy, what they did with that game, and you just slap the My Hero skin on there. Imagine like you create your own goddamn hero, and you just go to fucking UA, right? And you just interact with all the characters, and then you beat the fuck out of All for One, and the game ends. And then you do New Game Plus, and then you can play as one of the actual characters. It would be awesome. It would be awesome.
It would be pretty great. And also, My Hero Academia is one of those franchises that it's kind of ubiquitous now. It kind of, just like I was telling my roommate the other day, I realized My Hero has kind of taken the place of Dragon Ball Z and Naruto before it, kind of in the States at least, where whenever people think about anime, they think about My Hero now. Specifically, they think about the dub of My Hero. I can't tell you how many dumbass impressions I've heard people do on TikTok of Bakugo and Todoroki and Deku saying some out-of-pocket shit. And the generic, anime voice, the anime guy. It's just a lot of people doing a Deku impression. It's just become synonymous with anime nerd. And as a My Hero fan, it's kind of nice. And the fact that all of these games, which normally wouldn't get English dubs, are now getting English dubs, because I would argue the English dub of My Hero is almost as iconic and stands on its own as, maybe not as iconic as the Dragon Ball Z dub, but it has a lot of the same voice actors. Anyway, playing a lot of that. Going to see David perform at shows with Calloused Wing. EP dropping 10/20.
10 days away, man. 10 days away.
10 days away. It's going to be a good one. Y'all are not going to want to miss out on that. And I would say both of us have sufficiently recovered from our hiatus and end of summer woes. And now we're back and better than ever in time for both of our birthdays, the best holiday of the year, and the best season of the year. Honestly, I fucking love fall so much. Fall is my favorite. It's got spooky season. It's got both birthdays. It's got Halloween. You can dress up and eat candy, or if you're an adult, you can dress up and drink alcohol. And you see hot Optimus Prime. It's great. It's awesome. But we're not here to talk about Halloween. We're here to talk about specifically scary movies.
Yeah, a little bit of Halloween.
A little bit of Halloween. We're going down the list. Series that we started a couple months ago in an effort to elongate the podcast's content a little bit longer. And for October, we figured this would be the best time of year to talk about scary movies. The same way that we planned but didn't actually talk about romantic comedies for February. That boat sailed and missed. However, we're in time.
February. It's in 4 months after all.
Yeah, it's not too
like
much longer.
8 episodes away.
Basically. So we got to talk about scary movies. And then we're starting with David. So because this is the week of his birthday, we're going to talk about your number 12 video game of all time and number 7 album of all time, as well as your favorite scary movie, which we are going to start the episode with. And that is
Conjuring 2. Conjuring 2 is goated. Like, there are, 90% of people prefer the first one, but nah, bro. I'm all about the second one.
You're that 10%.
Damn right. It is so damn good. And namely, the reason immediately that pops in my head is that it cuts the bullshit of, half the movie where someone's being haunted and everyone else is like, I don't fucking believe you. You're full of shit, right? Especially the parents. And then, right when it's like the scene where they're in the beds and they're shaking and they're screaming and the mom runs in and is like, what the fuck is going on? Right? She pulls out the fucking Ouija board. She's like, oh, you guys just scaring yourself with this thing? And they're like, no, mom, this is some serious shit. And she's like, bullshit. And then the fucking dresser just bolts across the room and she was like, oh shit. Yeah. Damn, they ain't no lying in this bitch. So
that's pretty true.
I really appreciate that fact.
Yeah, it's also The Conjuring. At least the first two movies stand as very unique entries in the horror movie canon, because I feel like there's a legitimate heartwarming story to the first two Conjuring movies about the importance of family and sticking together. And as far as I remember, nobody dies in either of the first two movies, except for if there's an old lady in the beginning at one of them. But no one in the family that gets haunted dies, I don't think. And also, I remember watching the second one with you and thinking, wow, the Warrens are kind of like superhero protagonists, where you get to the climax in the movie and they have to fight the big boss ghost. And it's kind of cool because they're going in like heroes and you have faith in them. It's sort of like when you watch The Evil Dead and you see Ash strap up and get ready. It's when you have a protagonist that you understand can actually combat these demons and fight the spirits and stuff, it makes the experience that much more different than a regular horror movie where the goal is to kill everybody and have maybe one person standing, and you have the very end of the movie where they're like, oh, a killer's not caught. Conjuring kind of has that, but for the most part, it's nice, open and shut story each movie, and there's little teasers at the end. Like at the first one, they show you the MCU style, these are all the artifacts, and there's this Annabelle, and there's this whatever.
Yeah.
But talk more about what else you enjoy about Conjuring 2 specifically, as compared to the first Conjuring.
Yeah, kind of like going off what you said about like the Warrens themselves, how it's nice to have experts in the movies, because again, so many movies are like, how do we fight this evil or whatever, and like they show up, it's like, yeah, you got to do this, here's your problem, and this is how we're gonna fix it. It's like, all right, let's fucking go.
Let's go.
And it's like, it's not about trying to figure out how to fight the evil. It's like, we're just gonna kick its ass. And I just like all nice. The side characters, like the Crooked Man, I absolutely love. He has like 2 tiny scenes, and I love them both because he's like stop motion style, and he has like that really cool rhyme to it and everything. And just like his first appearance, coming into the hallway, but it was actually like the kid. That's a really good scene. I love the old man. What's his name? Edward. Fucking Bill Wilkins. That's what his name is. I'm 70 years old. This is my house. I don't know. There's just a lot of really cool characters in the movie and I like all of them. Like, I was gonna say, isn't the nun? The nun is like the main one. Before the nun's shitty ass solo movie.
Movies. Now there's a second one.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen the second one, but
me neither.
I've heard it's like only slightly better than the first one, which, whatever.
Also, it has what's her name? Lorraine's actress Vera Farmiga.
Yeah.
It has her daughter as like the main character.
I think it's her sister or something, but yeah, they look very similar, but they're like totally different characters, which is interesting.
Confusing.
But yeah, man, it's just very memorable. The spooks are done very well, and I like a lot of lines from it. I like the family dynamic, even though they're British. Can I have a biscuit?
That means cookie for all of the uninitiated. And Lou stands for Lou. So, I don't know if anyone...
Also, I don't know why, but I just kind of have like a man thing for Patrick Wilson. Like, he's like my man crush. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a bad choice.
Everyone always has the one. He's my one.
I think my what I guess I have like 4, but one of them at the very top is Ryan Gosling and Paul Rudd. I go back and forth on those two.
Nice.
A lot, but yeah, man. I mean, as far as spooky movies go, I think the Conjuring movies and Sinister, the first 2 Conjuring movies and Sinister were some of the first horror movies that I watched, prepared to be very scared to watch throughout, but ended up really, really enjoying. I think Sinister has less of a happy ending, than both the Conjuring movies.
Oh yeah, no.
And Sinister is way it's way worse.
It's one of those where like they fucking lose. They lose.
Yeah. Which you hate to see. You hate to hear about that in a horror movie. It's just because there's always at least one person that gets away scot-free, but not in Sinister.
No.
Sinister's fucked, dude. But Conjuring 2, pretty good. Crooked Man, The Nun. It doesn't have... Because everyone likes the first Conjuring for the hand clap moment. I remember that one was... I had a moment in college where we were watching The Conjuring. And it was a totally legal version of The Conjuring. And it was a bunch of us in a dorm room watching it on a shitty small TV. And it was raining, I think. And at I shit you not, almost the exact second where the clap happens, the movie stopped. And the screen, like, went black. And I think it was an internet connection thing. But all of us in the room were genuinely so terrified. I think because it was a scary moment, we had a couple of us, like, scream. And then the movie ended. And we couldn't get it back. And so it took a couple years before I finally saw the first movie. So by the time I saw the second movie, I was prepared. I was ready for anything.
Also, I think another reason why I like 2 over 1 is because I can't take 1 seriously because the main guy is like from Office Space.
Oh, that's right.
So, yeah, there's that too.
There's that too. Well, hey man, that's honestly a great choice for spooky movie. Have you seen it yet this October?
No. We're currently watching Friday the 13th.
Oh damn! Which movie are you on now in that series?
We just watched the 3rd one today.
Oh, that's it? Yeah. The anthology one that isn't connected to
that's Halloween.
2?
That's Halloween.
Oh, you're right. The 3rd one, is that with the psychic girl or is that the 4th one?
I think that's like the 6th one or something.
Oh my god.
No, 3 is just normal shit. This is where he finally gets his mask.
Oh. Is Johnny... there's a famous hot dude from the 80s that's in one of those.
The first one. Kevin Bacon. He's in the first one.
Kevin Bacon. Doesn't he get the arrow through the throat?
Yeah. And the 4th one has... I don't know what his real name is, but he plays the dad in Back to the Future. Crispin Glover, that's what it is.
Crispin Glover. Whoa. Crispin Glover gets fucking axed in that one, probably.
He does. And then he got really famous, but he's a kid in the 4th one. He was on the screen at Riot Fest, one of those cameo guys. I forget what his name
was it Corey Feldman?
Yeah, he's in the 4th one as like a kid.
Corey Feldman, I think, was in a TV show. It might have been a Disney show. It might have been something else, but we'll figure it out. So what's your top 7 or number 7 top favorite album of all time?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, we got a Blue album, and today's Blue album is Porcupine Tree's Fear of a Blank Planet.
Woo!
Yeah, this thing is a monster. And
talk a little bit. Yeah.
Really, one simple reason: Gavin Harrison. Boy, let me tell you what. This man is absolutely one of the GOAT drummers of all time. And I remember it specifically, exactly, because my first reaction, because this is just another one of those bands that my old bandmate introduced me to. And this is the first album I heard from them. And my first message I sent to him was like, dude, that drummer. Because, yeah, man, Gavin Harrison, which I don't know if you know who he is, but he's kind of like Neil Peart, you know, just like super good at everything he does, and just he can fucking do anything. Super smooth player. He hits ghost notes like crazy. He likes to hit his splashes, and just sounds good, man. Just sounds good.
Yeah. Isn't he a session guy? Because you told me he plays with Devin on a couple albums, right? or one album?
No, not Dev. He is in King Crimson right now. He plays with them. And just several other bands, like a band called like Pineapple Thief, and some other stuff. I'm not really sure, but this is the band I know him from.
Yeah. So, what kind of music would you describe to those uninitiated? What kind of music do you think Porcupine would you say they play? Porcupine Tree.
I mean, this specific one, it's like it gets heavy, but not super heavy. There's like just tiny little heavy moments, but mostly super atmospheric. Like the keyboard player, Richard fucking Barbelli or Barbell. I don't know what his fucking say his last name, but very, very synthesizer. The main guy, Steven Wilson, I think a lot of people know.
Yeah.
He's like the main guy, and then good old Colin Edwin on bass. God rest his soul. He's still alive, but just not in the band anymore.
Oh, all right. Well, I take back the oof then.
And this album features a solo from Alex Lifeson, so
Whoa.
that just kind of puts it over the top as just the fucking best album they have.
Yeah. What are song highlights, track highlights?
Okay, so we have the title track, which opens it up. I really like that one. The main piece, Anesthetize, is like 17 minutes, and that's the song with Alex Lifeson. And also the band's best song, I Will Fight Anyone to the Death Over This. That shit kicks ass. The last track, Sleep Together, is another really good one. Robert Fripp is actually on that track, who is the main guy in King Crimson. So,
do you think that's how they got acquainted?
Perhaps. Perchance. I don't know. I think this album came out in like 2007 or 9, somewhere in that ballpark. Because I know the last, before the new one, the last one was 2010, so... Dude, a little bit before that.
Middle school. Possibly even 5th grade when that album came out.
We'll find out right now.
So while you're finding that out, why do you think Porcupine Tree
2007.
2007. So we were in 8th grade. Or no, we were in 5th grade. I think. That was the same year that Halo 3 came out. Remember that best year in gaming?
Yeah, well, apparently it's a really good year in music too.
Yeah, sounds like it. Have you seen them live?
I have.
Now, a common trend, as we saw at Riot Fest, which we will talk about.
Robert Fripp is on Way Out of Here, not the last track.
So everyone who is typing in the comments, wrong! They're going to eat their words now. Better munch on them. Better savor them.
I don't even know how to fucking describe this album. Like, especially to someone who like has never heard anything off it.
That's me. I haven't.
You just got to hear it, man. Just like it's just the way they write, man.
Yeah.
The way they write, like the keyboard aspect really adds a lot, because I feel like if a band has a full-time like key or a synth player, it just adds so much elements to the music that like you wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah, which is fair because a lot of keyboards have very unique sounds that you can't achieve on guitar.
Especially if they have glasses, like they're like a super nerd. Like, man.
Yeah, they know their shit if they got glasses on.
Yeah, bro.
So, Rafi. Sorry, Rami. No, Rafi. Rami Jaffe? Rafi Jaffe.
I think it's Rami.
Rami Jaffe. I'm thinking of Rami Malek. Who's Rafi? Raphael?
I don't know.
From the Ninja Turtles? Well, Mr. Jaffe, up your game, man. Start wearing glasses that aren't sunglasses.
Damn straight.
Anyway.
Get edumacated.
Get edumacated. Get good words. Get good words and as thoughts. So, Porcupine Tree, would you consider them one of the pioneers of, I guess, the new prog movement? Like, if there was a Mount Rushmore of modern prog, do you think they'd be up there? Would you even consider them prog?
Yes. I mean, at least this one. They've had an interesting history because, like, you have, like, the first 3 albums that are just super out there, atmospheric shit. And then when you move into, like, album 4 or 5, that's when it gets a little proggy. And then, like, the last couple, like, their ending stretch, I swear they have 3 albums. It's, like, In Absentia, Deadwing, and then this one, Fear of a Blank Planet. These 3 albums, like, all 3 of them, I think, are, like, just as pinnacle as, like, Pink Floyd's 70s run, where they're, like, dropping Dark Side, Animals, The Wall, Wish You Were Here, just, like, banger after banger. I think they did it as well with these 3 albums.
That's a wild comparison.
Yeah, bro.
That is, yeah. I mean, that's saying something. So for all you prog heads out there, I know you watch our stuff.
All you prog heads out there, you already fucking heard this shit. You already know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you already know Porcupine Tree. I'm pretty sure I had friends in college who listened to Porcupine Tree and Between the Buried and Me and Periphery. That was another big one that a lot of college friends listened to. But Porcupine Tree, on top of having a goofy, silly name, they also got some pretty fucking good albums, apparently. So I have not been holding up my end of the listening to your albums deal. So one of these days we're just going to have to sit in a nice musty garage and just listen to a shit ton of music.
Damn right.
While playing our mobile games. But anyway, so yeah, number 7 album of all time. And it's only going to get better from there, folks. So with that being said, I think we should end on a sort of spooky note. I know you were kind of hoping for one of the next games on your list.
It's a little spooky.
All right, it's a little spooky.
It's a little spooky.
What do you got?
Number 12?
Yeah, 12.
12 game is The Last of Us.
Oh, dude, that's spooky. Dude, The Last of Us is super spooky. Are you kidding?
It's a little spooky. I mean, it's not as spooky as, like, Resident Evil, but
the concept of Last of Us is very spooky.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it do be like that sometimes.
It do be. So for those who have never touched a video game console and or the extraterrestrial beings that listen to this podcast, I just said hi to a bunch of them. Explain the plot of The Last of Us.
Dude, okay. There's that one SpongeBob line where Squidward, like, hates Krabby Patties, and, you know, they say the only people who hate Krabby Patties are just the ones that never tried it.
Yeah.
On God, I think everyone who's played the first Last of Us, they will have that fucking game in their top whatever games of all time. I just think it's one of those where, like, if you played it, you fucking know. You already know. And even the fucking show that came out, like, last year, was so damn good. I mean, you can honestly just fucking watch that and you get the whole story.
Right.
But yeah, it's an interesting take on, like, zombies, because there's, like, infected, but they're not dead. There's a virus. I hate zombies, but if they do, like, the virus route, I like it so much more. I just think it's much cooler than just undead just rising from the ground. Like,
unless you make it fun, like Resident Evil or Dead Rising. If you make zombies fun like that,
even Resident Evil, they're not dead. They're just, it's a virus, the T virus or whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but in this one, it's a fungus, right? It's a fungus that is, I think, based on a real mushroom in real life that affects ants and other bugs, where they basically take over the host's body while the host is still alive and get it to walk up a leaf or a tree or whatever, stand on the highest point and let the mushroom grow out of its head. And then the mushroom releases its spores into the wind and, spreads from place to place. It's kind of fucked up. And the most fucked up part about The Last of Us that I have seen a lot of people post about is the fact that if you listen closely to the infected that you kill in The Last of Us, you can hear the person that got infected. Obviously, all of them have voices that don't sound like human voices anymore because they're infected with this fucking virus. But in their dying moments, you can hear, if you distort the audio a certain way, you can hear human voices like scream for you to kill them or to it just paints a really dark picture that the fact that, oh yeah, no, these bodies that are infected are alive and aware of what's happening to them, and they can feel pain and they can understand what the virus is doing to them. Or like when they kill you and they start eating you or whatever, they're like, I don't want to do this, I'm sorry, blah blah blah. It's fucked, man.
Yeah.
But you got Joel, you got Ellie. It's a found family story. There's a video that I think Dunkey put out where he talked about if you play. No, it's not Dunkey. It was this. Shout out Drew Gooden. Drew Gooden mentioned in his best of PlayStation Now video, he said if you play the first minute of The Last of Us and you feel nothing, you don't have emotions, and you need to get that checked out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not the first minute, but just like the intro
like
section.
the first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Just the way that the game, because that's the part that I've played. I've played very little of The Last of Us. I think I ended in the sewers where you're trying to guide the boat from one part to the other. I didn't make it super far. My only complaint with the game is on a technical gameplay level. I just don't like that all of the movements are realistic and slow. Like when you're running and walking and crouching and rolling and stuff. There's a lot of weight to the characters that you're controlling. And I guess I'm just used to playing games where the movement is exaggerated, and if you do a dodge roll, you move very quickly. But in this game, it's like, no, these are real people. And it's developed by Naughty Dog, right?
Yeah.
Who are known for
Uncharted.
Consistently fucking knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
Almost every single game that they've ever released. At least in recent memory.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what I don't think they've done anything since Uncharted came out besides this game, with this series, I guess. But yeah, all of them are just pretty fucking slam dunking. But yeah, man, I mean, it's just a really damn good story to this game. It's really, because you have it's like 80% of it is just those two, and just like building on those two characters' dynamics. Because at first, obviously they hate each other, and by the end of it, they're basically just like family,
Yeah.
And just, I don't want to talk about the specifics of what happens, but there's a lot of really emotional moments, like mid-game and at the end too. Some choices are made, some deceits are made, which by the time you get to the second one, all that stuff happens, which people get into hissy fits about. But I don't really give a shit because we're talking about the first one. So
yeah, it's one of those games where even if the mechanics of the game itself are super solid, and if the gameplay is fun, in a story-based game like The Last of Us, if the characters that you're playing as, if you don't care about the characters you're playing as, then the game doesn't work. And from what I understand, the characterization of Joel and Ellie and all of the supporting characters it's done really well from what I've heard, and a lot of people consider. I mean, the fact that it got adapted into a show that was very successful and resonated with people. Hell, there was even an episode of the show that included characters not from the games. The Nick Offerman episode that had people in tears.
He's from the game.
Oh, he's from the game?
The partner isn't. I mean, he's only mentioned, but he's never actually shows up in the game.
Yeah.
But no, Bill is 100% real.
Yeah. So the fact that they can take a character from a game, give him his own episode in the show that doesn't happen in the game, and still leave impact, it means these characters are written very well and they're treated with reverence and all that good stuff. So if you haven't played Last of Us or finished it like I haven't, then do that, because I'm not playing Breath of the Wild anymore. So I think I just need to bite the bullet. Once I get a PS5, because they've ported Last of Us so many fucking times. There's so many different versions of it.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I want to go down the list of Naughty Dog games. Starting, of course, they have a bunch of games from the 80s that are one-off. Like they have a game called Math Jam, Ski Crazed, Dream Zone, all for the Apple II or the Amiga. And then their first console game, I suppose, they made Crash Bandicoot in 1996.
No.
And then they exclusively focused on Crash Bandicoot until 2001. They released Jak and Daxter. Then they did Jak 2, 3, and a racing game, which is funny because for Crash Bandicoot, they did Crash 1, 2, 3, and then a racing game. So there's a pattern here. So then you have Uncharted 1, 2, 3, then Last of Us, then Last of Us Left Behind, which is an expansion DLC. They have Last of Us Remastered. Then they finish with 2 Uncharted games, Thief's End and then The Lost Legacy, which apparently no one needs to play because no one cares about the spinoff. Then Last of Us Part 2, then Legacy of Thieves Collection, then Last of Us Part 1, which is a PlayStation 5 and Windows remake. And then they have an untitled The Last of Us game, which I think is supposed to be multiplayer. It's some sort of multiplayer, because they showed off concept art.
Yeah, Last of Us has multiplayer, but it wasn't included in the remake. And I think that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the first one's multiplayer mode, but which I don't give a fuck about, because like I said, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, that's true. So all I'm saying is that we're getting an Uncharted racing game soon.
Yeah.
We have to, based on the pattern, and we're getting a Last of Us racing game. So hope y'all are ready to rev up as Ellie and speed down the course as Joel. And then you imagine it like a clicker in a cart with like a bomb and comically throws it behind it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, dude, all really good picks. I feel like if you watch The Conjuring 2 and then put on Porcupine Tree while playing The Last of Us, you get a pretty good sense of not only David's tastes, but also you get a pretty good sense of spooky season and what spooky season is all about.
I also
really
quickly want to mention some of those nitwits out there who claim how Last of Us should be a movie. It's like, well, I'd rather just watch a Last of Us movie because it's just barely a game. Why don't you eat a dick? Well, you're gonna tell me that you rather watch a Metal Gear Solid movie too? Because in the fourth one, there's like a fucking 90-minute cutscene. You're gonna tell me those aren't games either? Eat a fucking cock. Play the goddamn game. And if you really want to watch a fucking movie, then watch a show. Fuck you. It was really good, though, the fucking show.
I haven't. My sister's watched the show, and she watched it by herself. She cried a bunch, apparently.
Yeah, it do be like that.
It do be like
that. I mean,
that.
There's seriously, especially, like, okay, you fucking play the intro.
Yeah.
There are, like, line for line, like, the same thing. They exactly like what they say. Especially in the car ride when they're like driving with the
Yeah, I saw the comparison where Ellie finds a magazine in the back seat, is it a CD or?
Oh no, that's later on. I'm talking about like the very intro when it's still Sarah.
Oh,
And like you see the farm on fire on the right side, and like even the camera moves the exact same way in the game. Like it's crazy.
and that's how it
Crazy.
should be. If you're gonna adapt a video game that has cutscenes, just recreate the cutscenes.
Yeah, bro.
Just do it. That's all we want to see. When you want to see a game or a show or an anime or whatever adapted to the Hollywood standards, that's all we want to see is the shit that we've already seen but with real life actors. Dude, that's why One Piece works so well. That's why Last of Us works so well. Just stick to it. And there you have it. Breaking news here at the source with the Too Bad We Didn't Get Into Cars podcast. My name's Nick Scarpinato, and you're watching the Monday night news. So, I guess I'm gonna go back to eating this cold pizza.
Take care and listen to my EP when it comes out, or I'll kill you.
Listen to Calloused Wings' new EP, which is called
I will fucking disown you if you don't listen to it.
Dirge of the Nameless Explorer,
Yes.
and there's no voyage.
Dirge of the Nameless Explorer. There's no voyage.
There's no voyage.
It's just a dirge.
It's just a dirge. So David will personally come to your house. He will find your address and murder you in your not even sleep. You'll be awake for it. You will be awake for it, and if you don't listen to the EP, you might as well be forfeiting your life.
Exactly.
So, exactly.
I'm gonna run you over with my blue.
Oh shit! Where'd it go? Oh my God! Where's your car? His blue
Gonna run you over with that.
2015 Volvo V60.
I'm gonna throw the Ant-Man fucking make big things on it, and then just run you over with it.
He's gonna do it. He's not joking. He's done it before. He will kill again.
All right.
So we love you guys. Happy, safe travels, passengers. I've been Nick Scarpinato.
I've been fucking tired, man.
This is our lovely Vanessa. Please don't spoil Breaking Bad for her anymore. She just got around to wanting to watch it again. We will see you in the next episode of this critically acclaimed podcast. But until then, stay warm because it's getting chillier out there. Make sure you pack a lunch for tomorrow because I know you never fucking eat lunch. You never stay hydrated either, but that's for another day. And have a good spooky season. We'll see you later in October.